For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 23 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys check out my sponsor, Buy MMOG. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's guys, I'm Friday here, back in another video, and today we're going to be hopping into another defense in Madden 23. We are going to be dropping a cover 2 defense out of this dollar formation. Just some coverage to go behind with some of your blitz stuff. I figured it was a smart thing to do. A lot of people are running spinner, especially out of this dollar formation. So we wanted to give you guys like a nice coverage defense that you can throw with it. Play I like to run is cover 2 drop. So that's what we're going to rock with, the cover 2 drop. It's a decent bluff from spinner because with spinner, of course, you are blitzing those 2 slot corners anyway from the opposite sides. It's not like you're against bunch, you're stacking 3 corners on one side, so of course the cover 2 can still be a bluff of that. As far as what we're doing, we're just going to leave auto flip on. Everything else can be the same. You can set your auto alignment to base if you'd like. Otherwise, you can leave it normal. And yeah, so the last thing would be to set those safeties at linebackers if you would like that. And let's just get a couple of decent plays here. And I just called the wrong play, but it is what it is. So all right, here we are. What you want to do, first of all, is going to be press. Now, you can either baseline press or not baseline press. It's really up to you. And we're going to go pretty heavy coverage. I'm going to go with a standard 3-man rush. I'll show what happens if you do blitz those slot corners if you would like. But we're going to start out in kind of a standard, just 3-man rush, full coverage. So taking a look at why we like the cover 2 drop versus something else, maybe a regular Tampa 2 or any kind of a cover 2 option. The reason I like the cover 2 drop is, first of all, your 3 receiver hook. This is a very nice zone. It's going to be an aggressive zone. I like it in the middle of the field, and it is something that you can do. Now, setups that I like just normally out of this play are going to be manning up both of the running back and that slot wide receiver, just like so, and we're just going to run everything else stock. So there's a weakness. It's going to be deep in that middle of the field, but other than that, you kind of sit around, defend everything, and of course your weakness is going to be the pass rush. Philly probably has the best offensive line in football. I feel like that's fair to say. So, I mean, we do have good pass rushers on the Jets, so you would expect to get some pressure, but that right side, you're not getting any pressure. That's Lane Johnson, and then you got Kelsey in the middle, so you got 2 guys who are just going to be getting pushed around. So it's not going to be a good formula, but in game, you guys know how the sheds are. Grab 2 edge threats, and you'll be off perfectly fine. Keep that in mind. So you can press normally when you run it. You don't have to baseline press. That could be more better for things like this. So if they go with the quick wheel route type plays, it might be better. Who knows what they're running, but yeah. So 3 receiver hook. He actually plays nicely. You see how he runs over and almost defends that right side. Now there are weaknesses in the defense, which is why we're going to go over some zone drop stuff a little bit later. Because if they were to throw like a tight end corner out, which not too many people are doing, but if they do, it could kind of catch you off guard. I do want Z spot in my audibles, so that was your first setup where you man up those slot corners. And the next one, we're going to go to a zone drop type setup. So we're going to set our curl flats deep, like a 25. And once again, you're running cover 2 drop. And let's get a Z spot in here. Z spot and go will work, and then we'll go with something like a mesh post. So again, we'll press normally. It shouldn't have too much of an effect. Maybe the corner out's better defended if you go with the soft squat. Now the soft squat's a very aggressive zone, so it's going to play pretty aggressive. But you see stock, everything seems to be defended very well just out of this cover 2 drop. That was with no adjustments. Now again, it takes us forever to get sheds because of how good Philly's offensive line is, but eventually we get there. Another thing you can do is just kind of hover on the line with your user to bluff it a little bit. So the next step is, let's say he's going corner out heavy. What I like to do, if he's running Z spot or something, we'll throw that player on a curl flat and he should defend it pretty well. Then over here on the left side, you still have options to do. Now there's not as many crossing routes from left to right, so it shouldn't be of too much concern. So if you want with the Y, you can still man him up on whoever you would, whoever you're choosing. You can actually throw him on like a bluff blitz, or we can just man him up on Y. So man him up on the running back. Now that's defended. Let's try it with a baseline press with that zone drop. Otherwise, we might have to do something else. I'm not sure why he backed up like such an idiot on that play. He was like running around like he was some kind of a 40 overall. Okay, so curl flats are clearly broken. I didn't know that they were that bad, but I didn't remember them being that bad. So we're going to kind of scratch that setup. I'm sorry about that. And we're going to go vice versa there. So what we'll do is just set our flats deep. Let's go flats 25. They should play. And maybe you don't want to be pressed also. You know, it could be a couple of different reasons, but I mean, it should never be that badly, I guess. So, all right, let's go corner out. Now we have our flats deep, so I would probably shade over the top if at all possible. And then you can go with some extra man coverage, or I would be man up the tight end in that case and man up the running back because our flats are so deep. The odds of B being on like a little short out route or flat route are pretty low, so I feel comfortable just kind of leaving it like this. Of course, if you need to, you can just throw Ashton Davis or your 3-rec in a middle third if need be. You can go vice versa. You can use your CJ Mosley or whoever you'd like. But we'll snap it here. And you see we're taking care of B. Our B still is slightly open. So maybe you even set your flats to 30, just depending on some corner routes. But you guys kind of understand. I mean, and if you need to, just man him up as well. So, and we have some extra guys. So if I need to, I can also man up the tight end here. Just pretty much have everybody on the field manned up besides B, which would be like a little drag or who knows. In this case, he's on that Z spot, little zig route. So again, certain things will get open. It's difficult to play super perfect defense in this game, but we can do a decent job with what we have. And again, if we don't want to, what we can do is just go curl flat, and then maybe we man up someone over here. We man up B, or maybe we just man up RB. So you can go with a super aggressive setup, kind of like this, where curl flats would be lower. I'm not sure if I adjusted them, but the curl flats should be lower, and you can actually man up that outside corner. And then I would definitely throw an extra deep guy over here. I would use your Davis like this. So you can man up the running back in this case as well, but playing an aggressive style like that, and I just forgot what play we were running, but normally we'd be able to defend that zig route. So that's actually a pretty good setup. You can run it either baseline press. I wouldn't really do that. I would probably run it more standardly press if I'm going to go with that kind of an adjustment. So again, here's a look at kind of what you're doing. Now, again, when you go with the middle third instead of like a man coverage on the tight end, that might leave him open, but with the tight end being on like a flat or a drag, you could take care of it. Now you have some extra space over there. So let's go to Z spot here. Since I keep forgetting to audible, simple setup, snap the football, and now you see everything really taken care of. Now there would be situations where routes would get open, verticals, wheel route with B. So I wouldn't run this setup, every single play multiple times in a row. I would mix it in diligently. And when I notice tendencies like him streaking B, or again, even if B's on any kind of a crossing route going from right to left, we're good. If he's on any kind of a flat route, really only a wheel route or a corner route of his own would beat us in this situation, which not too many people are running. Even if he's on the deep post, it's taken care of. So I do like this setup. Pretty good. It's a pretty solid setup. And again, if you want to, you can use your Mosley and leave him in the 3-rec hook and still play your coverage. Now you see, look at the 3-rec hook. Ashton Davis ran straight to the area, and it was defended. So you notice over there on the left side, the soft spot was running with the post route. So, it's just perfect, pretty perfect coverage right there. This is against dig return. Take a look at your 3-rec hook, which is him. He's running all the way from there, and he actually plays, picture perfect. Again, I would use this guy, but I was just watching him. But I would use the in route and then take a look at him, bagged by our corner over there. So, that's a pretty good style of defense that you can go with. As far as some of the other stuff that maybe you could run, you'd easily turn it into a cover 3 cloud if you'd like, just like so. And then again, if I'm doing that, probably what I would do is curl flat Mosley, and then I would man up RB. In case he's on a corner out, you need someone out there, I would shade outside, probably shade. And I would even back him up. So I would back him up like this, shade outside if it's a corner out. The outside third would do a good job in this case. He would have to go with something like this to open up the corner out, and even press, it might not work as well. So we'll see if it does work. But throw it outside. I know that's not the best wide receiver. He's fast, but yeah, so that's a really good coverage. So you want to know how to stop a corner out? That's perfect coverage. Even with the clear out, your baseline pressed. You have Sauce over there. And, of course, these guys actually kind of run into each other, which is nice. And, I mean, look how he sticks with him on that corner out. A lot of people would probably think, oh, I'm going to be pressed. I want to press. It's not the case. You want to be backed off, shade outside, and they seem to run the route almost for them. Over here on the left side, that's a tough throw. The wheel route would be the only thing, and I just didn't man him up. So other than that, everything is defended well. I'll show that setup again, which is your cover 3 cloud bluff blitz or bluff play. Again, this is what you're doing. You're manning up him. You're going R1 in a middle third, B on an outside third, A in a curl flat, and then you're putting A in man coverage with the slot receiver. You can, again, back him off, shade outside, shade over the top. And then probably what I'm doing is manning up Bryce Hall over there on Miles Sanders. Now, since you shade over the top, you get a cloud flat instead of a soft squat. You can put him on a soft squat if you like. Now, you have no 3-rec hook, but for any setup, let's just run like a weird Z spot with a slant, and then I'll show like a verticals, something like this. I would just take B, and your read is really A. And if you want, you can just like hard flat, but yeah, you make a tackle there, and you're forcing him to check down, take things that he doesn't particularly want, and overall, that's what you like. So I'll show it one more time against like a cover, something else. Let's go with like a verticals. It is a lot of adjustments, so I will say it's more of your advanced setup for sure. But yeah, let's go with verticals, wheel route, something like this that you see. Again, I would probably hover, bluff that I'm blitzing. And then we're taking RB beats him. A is open, so you would probably take A in that situation. RB does kind of get open, so and obviously you want a better corner. But when he's backed off like that, you can't do much. So if he's mixing it up a heavy amount, I would go maybe just not press or just press and then shade it outside. But you can't do a whole lot. It's kind of a guessing game. But overall, it's a good video. If you guys enjoy, make sure you drop a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel down below. I will be dropping that ebook soon. And peace. I'm out of here.